All right, let's talk about this $2,000 stimulus check email that has millions of Americans confused, excited, and honestly worried. If you've seen it in your inbox, if someone you know forwarded it to you, or if you've been searching online trying to figure out whether this is real money coming your way, stay right here, because in the next few minutes I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, what's real, what's a scam, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to protect yourself. Let's start with what the claim actually is. In November 2025, President Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social account, and the words were clear. He wrote that tariffs are bringing in trillions of dollars, and that a dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, would be paid to everyone. He repeated it the next day. He said it again at a cabinet meeting in December. He even told the New York Times when asked about a timeline, toward the end of the year. So yes, this is a real statement from a sitting president. That part is confirmed. But here's the part most people completely miss, and this is where the confusion and the danger begins. Saying something and it becoming law are two very different things. And right now, in early 2026, no $2,000 check has been approved, no payment has been issued, no date has been set, no eligibility list exists. The idea is still just that, an idea, and it has enormous obstacles standing between that social media post and your bank account. We are going to walk through every single one of those obstacles right now so you understand exactly where things stand. Here's how this actually works. When a president wants to send money directly to Americans, it typically requires an act of Congress. That means a bill has to be written, debated, voted on, and passed by both the House and the Senate before any money moves. Kevin Hassett, Trump's own director of the National Economic Council, said on national television in December 2025 that Trump would likely need congressional approval to issue these funds. And even Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Fox News that Congress would have to be involved. Now, Trump himself pushed back on that and said he didn't think he'd need Congress. But that debate alone tells you how unsettled this entire plan still is. There is no mechanism in place. There is no legislation. There is no processing system. There is no check being printed. Not yet. Now, here's the important part, because this is where things get dangerous for regular people. Because Trump mentioned this idea publicly, scammers immediately went to work. Within weeks of Trump's November announcement, fraudulent emails started flooding inboxes across the country. One of the most widely reported ones came from a group calling itself Major Gross Profit. The subject line was alarming on purpose. It said something along the lines of, "Trump's $2,000 tariff dividend is live, but you must act." It told people the first checks are already going out. It told people they had to click a link to secure their payment. PolitiFact investigated this email, contacted the company, and rated the claim false. When a cybersecurity researcher actually clicked the link in a controlled, safe environment, it redirected to a page selling gold. Not a government payment portal, a gold sales page. That is the scam. That is what is happening in millions of inboxes right now. This is where most people get confused. They see a headline about Trump and $2,000. They get an email about Trump and $2,000. Those two things feel connected, and that's exactly what the fraudsters are counting on. They are riding the wave of a real news story to make their fake email look legitimate. They know you're already curious. They know you already searched it. So when that email lands, your brain says, "I've been hearing about this, maybe this is it." And that's the moment they want you in. Let's break this down into the specific things you need to understand. The first thing you need to understand is that Trump's proposal is real, but it is only a proposal. He said it, he meant it, but meaning it and legislating it are two completely different things. The Doge dividend, remember that? Trump and Elon Musk floated $5,000 checks from government efficiency savings earlier in 2025. People got excited. Scam texts went out about that too. Those checks never came. The same pattern is repeating right now with the tariff dividend. A public statement became an internet firestorm, which became a scammer's playground. The second thing you need to understand is the money math. Trump's tariffs brought in roughly $189 billion more in revenue in 2025 compared to 2024. That sounds like a lot, but giving $2,000 to every American would cost approximately $680 billion. That's more than 3 times what the tariffs generated. Even if the checks were limited to people earning under $100,000, budget analysts estimate the cost would still be at least $300 billion. Analysts at Yale's budget lab said clearly the revenue coming in would not be adequate. So even if Congress approved it tomorrow, there are serious fiscal questions about how this gets funded without blowing up the national debt even further. And here's another major wrinkle. The United States Supreme Court recently struck down many of Trump's tariffs, ruling them illegal under the law he used to impose them. That means the revenue pool he was counting on has gotten significantly smaller, which makes any timeline for these checks even more uncertain. The third thing to understand is how real government payments actually work. The IRS does not email you. It does not text you. It does not send you a message on social media. The government does not require you to click a link or go through a third party to receive money you're owed. During COVID, when the government actually did send stimulus checks, here is what happened. The IRS used your tax return information on file and deposited money directly into your bank account. You did not have to respond to a single email. You did not have to click anything. You didn't have to claim it through a website you'd never heard of. The money just came. And for the small number of people who did need to take action, they were directed to irs.gov, the official government website, not to a private company, not to a gold investment page, and certainly not to a link sent through spam email. The fourth thing to understand is the income eligibility question. Trump mentioned this wouldn't go to, quote, high-income people. His Treasury Secretary floated a possible $100,000 income limit as a cutoff, but nothing is confirmed. There are no official income brackets. There are no official rules. Anyone emailing you with specific eligibility claims right now is either guessing or lying, period. The fifth thing to understand is the political reality. Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill in 2025 that would give tariff rebates to lower and middle-income families, but his version set a minimum of $600 per person, not $2,000, and it's tied specifically to China tariff revenue. That bill has not moved in Congress. There is bipartisan skepticism about whether this plan makes economic sense at all. Investor Kevin O'Leary, who is no critic of Trump, said publicly that sending out checks funded by tariffs is a quick Band-Aid that risks acting as a silent tax by stoking inflation. When your own allies are warning about inflation risk, that tells you this is nowhere near a done deal. If you're watching this right now, you're already ahead of most people. Most people either get excited and click something dangerous, or they dismiss the whole thing and stay confused. You now have the actual facts, and that puts you in a completely different position. Let's say someone receives one of these emails. It lands in their inbox. It looks credible. It mentions Trump by name. It references $2,000. It says the program is live. It creates urgency by saying you must act now. Here is what actually happens if that person clicks the link. In the best case, they get redirected to a sales page for some product and nothing worse happens. In a more serious case, clicking the link downloads malware onto their device, software designed to steal passwords, bank information, and personal data. In the worst case, they fill out a form asking for their social security number, their bank account number, or their IRS login credentials, and within hours, their identity is being used to open credit lines, file fraudulent tax returns, or drain their accounts. That is not a hypothetical. That is happening to people right now across this country in 2026. Now here is what you actually need to do. Do not click any link in an unsolicited email or text message claiming you have a tariff dividend, a stimulus check, a relief payment, or anything that requires you to act now. If you want to verify whether any payment program has actually been approved, go directly to irs.gov. Bookmark it. That is the only official source for federal payment information. Do not trust any website you were linked to. Type the address yourself. If someone is asking you for your social security number, your bank account number, your IRS login, or any personal financial information in exchange for receiving this money, hang up, delete the email, and report it. Those are not hoops the government makes you jump through to receive a check. If you or someone you know may have already clicked one of these links or provided personal information, act immediately. Contact your bank and alert them to potential fraud. Change the passwords on any sensitive accounts and enable two-factor authentication. File a report with the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. Report it to your local police as well. And consider placing a credit freeze with all three major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, which is free and prevents anyone from opening new credit lines in your name. Here is the bottom line on everything we've covered. Trump proposed a $2,000 tariff dividend. That is real. It has not been approved by Congress. It has not been funded. No checks have been issued. No emails from the government are going out about it. The Supreme Court has complicated the tariff revenue picture significantly. The proposal is still in the discussion phase, and any timeline remains uncertain. What is happening right now is that scammers are exploiting the buzz around this proposal to send fake emails designed to steal your personal information, your money, or both. PolitiFact rated these emails as false. Cybersecurity experts are calling them dangerous, and every major financial and government watchdog organization in the country is telling people the same thing. If someone contacts you claiming you need to act to receive this payment, it is a scam. Stay informed through legitimate sources. Watch for updates from irs.gov and official government announcements. Do not let urgency pressure you into decisions you haven't thought through. Real government money never requires you to respond to an email from a company you've never heard of. Keep your guard up. Share this with anyone in your family who might be vulnerable, and stay informed. Because when something real does happen with these payments, you will hear about it from official sources first.